कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं. So we've talked about object-oriented testing. All this has been covered. I was to start with testing object classes. I think I remember. Testing method is applicable at the class level. So we were to start with this. So for this, we'll take an example. Let us suppose this is a class diagram for a banking application. Okay, there are broadly these are the classes: ATM, bank, and account and cashier and validation info. These are the classes, and these are the message exchange between the various classes. So दो methods मैंने आपको बताए हैं. जब class testing है, class is takes the place of who's there? एक minute, just a minute. हेलो सर, मैं एक मिनट क्लास में हूँ सर, 3 बजे बात करें. अच्छा, एक मिनट सर, 3 बजे पर. अच्छा, ओके. तो एक बार वापस जाएं. ठीक है, तो क्लास के लिए आई टोल्ड यू class is equivalent to unit testing. Yes, do you remember that? Yes. Yes, ma'am. So the smallest unit in case of object orientation is the class, and therefore when we talk about unit testing in context of the object orientation, then it means class testing. Now there are two types of testing classes. I told you earlier. I'll just come to that slide quickly. इसको पहले स्लाइड शो में कर लेते हैं. स्लाइड शो में आपको यू फील बेटर या दूसरे से स्लाइड्स दिखाने से बेटर? इससे थोड़ा सा व्यू ब्रॉडन हो जाता होगा ना. हाँ, does it get a better हाँ, it gives a better view ना.
स्लाइड शोस बेटर.
स्लाइड शो ना, हाँ ठीक. तो इसमें दो मेथड्स हैं. एक तो रैंडम टेस्टिंग. अब मैं अपनी स्लाइड्स में इसलिए बढ़ाती हूँ, उसमें बड़े बड़े फॉन्ट्स डालती हूँ मैं, ताकि इट शुड बी वेरी ब्रॉड विजिबल हो अच्छे से ना. तो एक तो देर आर टू वेज ऑफ डूइंग क्लास टेस्टिंग इन ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेशन टेस्टिंग. वन इज रैंडम टेस्टिंग एंड वन इज पार्टीशनिंग. तो दो है. पहले हम रैंडम टेस्टिंग पढ़ेंगे एंड देन वी विल सी द पार्टीशनिंग मेथड, एंड वी विल स्टडी ऑल दिस इन कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ दिस एग्जांपल क्लास डायग्राम. इस क्लास डायग्राम को लेके हम यूनिट टेस्टिंग करेंगे और रैंडम टेस्टिंग करेंगे और पार्टीशनिंग टेस्टिंग करेंगे. So let us suppose this is the banking application. There is an account class and this has the following operations: open, setup, deposit, withdraw. है ना. ये banking, ये account जो है, sorry, these are the various classes: open, withdraw, setup, and all are these the various operations of the banking system. So the operations of the class account are open, setup, deposit, withdraw. I think I have not shown them here because of this less space. I think I have not shown it here. The account class के methods. Okay, but you can see that the account class has the following operations: open, setup, deposit, withdraw, balance, summarize, credit limit, and close. Okay, these are the these are some of the operations. Now, and each of these operations may be applied for account. Okay, but we know that these operations can be applied within some constraints. Account has to be opened before the operations can be applied and closed after all operations are done with. So this is because of the nature of the problem or nature of the problem statement. Now So if you want to test the minimum behavior life history of any instance of account, then we can have we must have these operations at least. Open होना चाहिए, setup, deposit, withdraw और close. बीच में और भी बहुत सारी चीजें हो सकती हैं, जैसे ये वाला है, ओपन है, सेटअप है, डिपॉजिट है, फिर से डिपॉजिट है, फिर विड्रॉ है, फिर बैलेंस है, फिर समराइज है, फिर क्रेडिट लिमिट है, फिर विड्रॉ है. लेकिन जो मिनिमम बिहेवियरल है वो ये तो होगा, ये ओपन होगा, सेटअप होगा, डिपॉजिट या विड्रॉ और क्लोज. So this is the minimum test sequence for any account, and there can be a number of variety of other behaviors also. All right, so we can have different operation sequences. लेकिन एक को पहले open होना है और last में close तो होना ही होना है, और बीच में जो है we can have, this is the minimum, and we can have n number of such operations. क्या होता है कि we will randomly make test cases. So जैसे ये test case R1 है, test case R2 है, so we'll just randomly make test cases and we randomly conduct or we execute the test cases for different classes. तो हर एक क्लास के लिए उसके ऑपरेशंस को पहले लिस्ट कर लेना है, और अगर कोई बिहेवियरल पैटर्न में अगर किसी सीक्वेंस के कॉन्स्ट्रेंट है, जैसे यहाँ अकाउंट क्लास में है कि उसको ओपन होना है और क्लोज होना है, तो जो मिनिमम बिहेवियरल सीक्वेंसेस हैं वो लिख के, और अगर उसमें और सारे बहुत सारे have a number of permutations and combinations of the operations. तो random is simple, so we will generate or we will test cases randomly and we conduct. So this is random testing. Okay, जैसे ये test case R1 है, test case R2 हमने बनाया, तो randomly we have made. और मैं R3 R4 भी बना सकती हूँ with the sequences, but everyone will have one open and one close at the end. One open, one close, setup, deposit है, इसमें withdraw, deposit, balance, credit limit, इसमें कुछ और sequence है. So that is random testing, simple. For every class, you list the operation and then you generate or conduct tests randomly. Now partitioning testing, this is the second method of testing at class level. Now this is same, or this is, I would say that is similar to the equivalent partitioning in the traditional testing technique which we had done, the black box testing. Now this also aims to reduce the number of test cases required to exercise the class, and it is in much in the same manner as the equivalence partitioning for the traditional software. ठीक है? So इसमें किस तरीके से करते हैं? Now how are the partitions categorized? उसमें तो हमने क्या किया था कि if you remember, we had categorized the input domain into partitions. Okay, where the set of similar types of inputs are put into one equivalence classes, and also output is categorized into equivalence classes, and test cases are designed to exercise each category. So it reduces the number of test cases we had seen when we read black box testing, equivalence class partitioning technique. Now how do we do equivalence classes partitioning at the class level? Okay, how we'll do the partition testing at the class level? So how are the partition categories derived when we talk in context of the object oriented testing? तो इधर जो है, इधर होगी दो तरह की होती है, एक होती है स्टेट बेस्ड पार्टीशनिंग और एक होती है एट्रीब्यूट बेस्ड पार्टीशनिंग. one is attribute partitioning and one is state based partitioning. तो यहाँ पार्टीशनिंग पे दो क्राइटेरिया है, स्टेट बेस्ड एंड एट्रीब्यूट बेस्ड. अब स्टेट बेस्ड में क्या करते हैं? Now state based partitioning will categorize class operations into two categories based on the ability to change the state of the class or not to change the state of the class. Now we see if the account class, this has got these operations, deposit, withdraw, और कुछ है, ये तो क्या है? These are state operations. They will change the state of the class. Now these are non-state operations. Balance, summarize, credit limit. You are just inquiring the balance, summarize, and credit limit. So we divide the classes into two levels. Hello, Richu, मेरी ना क्लास चल, मैं 5 मिनट फोन करती हूँ, ठीक है? तो we will divide it into two partitions. One which will change the state of the class and another which do not change the state. So operations जो change करती हैं उनको एक में डाल दिया, deposit, withdraw, और जो कि state नहीं change करती उसको दूसरे में डाल दिया. Now again here we will design test cases from each of these categories, that is those which are changing the state and those which are not changing the state. So here we have suppose two test cases, test case P1 and test case P2. So if you see that test case P1 changes the state. Test case P1 we are changing the state of the class, and in test case P2 the operations are such that there is no change. We are not changing the class this thing. So the state of the class will not change when you will execute test case P2. So therefore we will now categorize into two classes, those which change and those which not change. ये तो हो गई state based partitioning. Attribute based partitioning होगी. Okay, so it will be based on the attributes. Now here what we will do is that we will take some attribute like balance and credit limit, and we will define the partitions. So we will divide operations into three partitions. Operations that use credit limit. Okay, तो दो हमने attributes ले लिए. Operations that modify the credit limit and operations that do not use or modify the credit limit. Based on attribute हम तीन partitions बना देंगे. Those that use, those that do not use those operations, and those that use or modify both. And here again we will design test cases from each of these three partitions. So this is the basis of doing attribute based partitioning. Take an attribute and divide into three classes. The operations we will divide, operations of the class we will divide into three classes. Operations that modify, operations that do not change, and operations that use the credit limit. So this is what is attribute partitioning. And then there is category based partitioning. All right. So category based partitioning में they will categorize the class operations based on the generic function that each performs. Okay. So we have a suppose account class that can be categorized into these types of functions. कुछ initialization operations हैं, कुछ computational हैं, कुछ queries हैं, कुछ termination. So again we will pick up or we will make test cases from all these categories. All right, this is the category of the operations. These are doing only initialization, they are doing computational, they are doing query work, and they are doing the termination. All right. Yes? None? So when we will talk about class-based testing or unit testing context of, so we can do three types of testing: random testing and partitioning testing. Partitioning is state-based, attribute-based, and based. Is it okay? This is quite simple. Apparently it's quite simple as compared to black box testing techniques which we did earlier, you know, when we were doing unit testing for traditional softwares. But this is just introduction, you know. This can also go into a lot of depth, you know. Now integration testing in object-oriented context. So let's see what do we mean when we talk about integration testing. We have seen integration testing in traditional software. We saw the top-down approach, the incremental approach, the bottom-up, and the big bang and the sandwich. उसमें वो सब सारी approaches थी integration testing की. बात करते हैं integration test की तो एक है thread testing. See, you need not. I am giving only a introduction to this, and this is what is required at in your course. You know. We will not go into the depth of object-oriented testing much. You need to know what they are, and maybe design some test cases for unit testing. And so we will not go into as much depth as we had gone in the traditional and the procedural testing techniques, the analogous procedural techniques like when we did the integration testing techniques for traditional software. So thread-based testing में क्या है? Integrate the set of classes required. So what all classes will be integrated? Those which respond to one or event of the system. It is integrated and tested individually. And regression testing is applied to ensure that no side effects occur. So we'll see what is regression testing. Next topic which I'm going to start today itself is regression testing. So you will understand what do we mean by regression testing. So thread-based testing में क्या है? Those classes which are responding to one input or event, they are taken together and they are integrated. Use-based testing. The second testing approach is use-based testing. It begins the construction of the system by testing those classes which are called independent classes that use very few, if any, of the several classes. जो independent classes हैं, we start the construction of the system by testing the independent classes, and then we come to the dependent classes. Testing. So when I talk about integration testing in the context of object orientation, so we'll have thread-based testing and use-based testing. Okay. After the independent classes are tested, the next layer of classes are called the dependent classes, and these are those which use the independent classes. These are tested. So this sequence of testing, layers of dependent until the entire system is constructed. So here, like the conventional integration, where we use the drivers and stubs, and in bottom-up approach we were using the drivers, and the top-down approach we were using the stubs to replace the modules. We are avoiding the replacement activity here. So we are doing it in layers. We are doing first the independent classes and then the dependent classes, and then those dependent classes which are dependent on the second layer of the dependent classes. So we are trying, it's more of a like of an incremental approach of integration which we did in the traditional approach. So here we are for either top-down or bottom-up approach, and we avoid the writing of drivers and stubs, and we try to do it in an incremental fashion by first testing all independent classes, then dependent classes, and then the second level of dependent classes, and so on and so forth until the entire system is constructed. Is that clear? That's all for object oriented. Yes, 37 slides. So I'll post this material. This is in totality the whole of the four concepts. Yes, do you have any? And it is sufficient to know this much. ज़्यादा जो आपको ज़रूरी होगा, जो मैं आपको क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकती हूँ अगर, वो यूनिट टेस्टिंग पे पूछूंगी मैं आपसे. जो क्लासेस में रैंडम टेस्टिंग पे पूछ सकती हूँ, स्टेट बेस्ड पे पूछ सकती हूँ, एट्रीब्यूट पे पूछ सकती हूँ मैं आपसे, और क्योंकि they are analogous to unit testing. And you just need to know about integration testing, what it is, thread-based, use-based. Is that clear? Yes. Is it fine to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? There only one person will answer. बाकी है भी कि नहीं है? Or you just switched on your systems and you are roaming here and there? I wonder, what is the state you are in? State-based testing of students. I should do a state-based testing. ठीक है? Do you have any questions still here? That's all about object-oriented testing. Yes? Do you have any doubts, any questions? We have covered white box testing, we have covered black box testing, and we have covered integration testing, we have covered now object-oriented testing. The next topic which I'm going to start is regression testing. Is that all right? Yes? Yes or no? I should have some response from some of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Muskan is saying yes. Shivani? All right. So that's all about OO testing. So next I'm going to set up my presentation on regression testing. Just give me 2 minutes. We'll start with regression testing then. Just All right, so let me open my slides on regression testing, and I'll share these slides. So I'll start my presentation on the regression testing. Yeah, is it visible to all of you, regression testing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So I put it in the slideshow. So the next topic is regression testing. So we talked, I just talked about regression testing, the term in the object-oriented testing. Now let's see in depth what is regression testing, why do we do it, तो और क्या-क्या इसकी techniques हैं. So what is regression testing? Now what is regress? Regress means to go back to a previous state. So regress means to return to a previous, usually worse state. ठीक है, पुरानी स्टेट जो कि थोड़ी ठीक नहीं है, उसके बारे में बात करें. So what is regression testing? Regression testing refers that portion of the test cycle in which a program P dash is tested. इसको पढ़ लो एक बार. Ensure that not only does the newly added or modified code behaves correctly, but also that carried over unchanged from the previous version P continues to behave correctly. अब मैं आपको समझाती हूँ क्या है. एक प्रोग्राम है आपके पास P. ओके, अब थोड़ा सा पैटर्न्स के बारे में जो हमने वहां पढ़ा वो भी कुछ बात कर लेते हैं. हम बार बार कह रहे हैं रिक्वायरमेंट्स चेंज होती है, रिक्वायरमेंट्स चेंज होती हैं. जब हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स चेंज होती है तो हमारी कोड भी चेंज होगा. तो हमारा P है एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोग्राम, कुछ नई फंक्शनैलिटी हमने ऐड करी, न्यूली एडेड, या कुछ मॉडिफाई किया एग्जिस्टिंग कोड, तो हमारा P बन गया P डैश. तो रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग मतलब हमने ये टेस्ट करना है कि जो P डैश बना है it works correctly. Okay, and it works correctly for the newly added and the modified code. तो अगर कोई नई फंक्शनैलिटी, नई रिक्वायरमेंट्स हमने ऐड करी तो जो हमारा P डैश है वो वर्क करेक्टली करता है, और जो हमने P कैरी ओवर किया है P डैश में, even that is not affected and it continues to behave correctly. So therefore that is what is regression testing. So regression testing is useful and it's required because we have to assure that whenever there is a new version of the program, then the existing version is not starts running erratically or fails. So if you are getting a new version by modifying the existing program or adding some new functionality, then not only the new version should work properly or correctly, but whatever existing code we carried over from P to P dash also does not start behaving wrongly. That is regression testing. Do you agree with it? Is it okay? Yes? Simple? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Yes, okay. So that is what is regression testing. So what is regression testing? It is the re-execution of some subset of tests that have already been conducted to ensure that changes have not propagated unintended side effects. Okay, so whenever software is corrected, okay, so some aspect of the software will change obviously. So regression testing basically, regress means to go back to the previous version. So regression testing basically helps us to ensure that changes don't introduce unintended behavior or additional testing. So regression testing can be conducted manually by re-executing a subset of all the test cases or using automated tools also. So we'll see that. Why we use automated tools? क्योंकि ऐसा है ना, जब आप पिछले भी टेस्ट केसेस चलाओगे, अगले भी चलाओगे नई फंक्शनैलिटी के, तो आपके बहुत सारे टेस्ट केसेस हो जाते हैं. तो उस केस में we would take the help of automated testing or automated tools to do regression testing. So therefore, in most of the time, regression testing is done through manually less, but more through automated tools because of the rise in the number of test cases, because we have to test for previous functionality and new functionality also. So we also call regression testing as validation. Okay, revalidation, not validation. Revalidate karna program. So now there are two terms in context of regression testing. One we call as a corrective regression testing and another we call as progressive regression testing. So corrective regression testing kya hai? Okay, so this is obtained by making corrections to the previous version. तो आपने नई फंक्शनैलिटी ऐड करी या कोड मॉडिफाई करा तो प्रीवियस वर्जन गेट्स इफेक्टेड, तो उसमें जो करेक्शंस करे हैं दैट इज करेक्टिव रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग और है प्रोग्रेसिव रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग. सो इफ यू आर एडिंग अ न्यू फीचर देन द टेस्टिंग व्हिच यू डू इज प्रोग्रेसिव रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग. इज दैट ऑल राइट? दो तरह की रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग हो सकती है, करेक्टिव और एक प्रोग्रेसिव. सो टिपिकली रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग includes both corrective and progressive regression testing, because when you're adding a new functionality you have to do progressive regression testing, and at the same time you have to also need to do corrective regression testing to make sure that the previous versions of the program, if they are effective, they are also working correctly. Yes, is it fine till here? हाँ भाई बोलो.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
आगे चलते हैं. Now process of regression testing. तो अब regression testing समझ आ गई. regression testing अच्छे से समझ आ गई कि regression testing क्या होती है, कितने types की होती है और क्यों करी जाती है. So we have understood the reason. First of all, what is the term, the definition of the term, then types of regression testings and why we do regression testing at all. Now process of regression testing. So let us understand the process of regression testing by seeing this development cycle. Okay? So here I have made two columns. One is version 1 and one is version 2. तो ये मैंने जो है नंबरिंग करी है, इसको फॉलो करेंगे हम. तो फर्स्ट we develop program P, we test P and we release P. Okay, so the user or the customer is now using the program P. This is point number 3. Now suppose when he is using the program, modifications are asked for or requirements change. So we modify P to P dash and then we test P dash for the new functionality which is added to P, and we also do at the same time regression testing on P dash to ensure that the code carried over from P behaves correctly. Then we release P dash. So P dash is our version 2 now. So this is a typical program development cycle. After the release of a program, the work is not done. We all know that requirements change and new requirement change would be asked by the customer. So we need to modify the program. P से P dash बनाया, P dash को नई functionality के लिए टेस्ट किया और जो कोड P से P dash को कैरी ओवर किया उसको भी टेस्ट किया ताकि वो बिहेव कर रहा है करेक्टली. और ये जो P dash अब बन गया, this is version 2. This is the second version of your P. Is that all right? This is a typical program development cycle. So this is a develop, test, release process for a program which is referred to as version 1. So we all know that while P is in use, there might be need to add new features, remove any reported errors and rewrite some code to improve the performance. So such modifications lead to P dash, referred to as version 2. Okay? Now this modified version must be tested for any new functionality, so which is the step 5. So we are testing P dash for new functionality. And when making modifications to P, developers might mistakenly add or remove code that causes the existing and unchanged functionality from P to stop behaving. So जो P already जो functionality थी or existing functionality, that also stops behaving when you are adding new functionality to P. So in that scenario, we go for regression testing. What is the purpose of regression testing, or what is the intent or objective of regression testing? It is to ensure that the changes which you have made to software, such as adding, new features or modifying existing features have not adversely affected the features of the software, that should not change. So suppose that there are 10 features or 10 functionality which a software is delivering presently, and you add 2 more functionalities, तो ये नहीं कि 10 से 12 होने पे जो 10 है वो भी काम करना बंद कर. So that is the purpose of regression testing, to test first of all that 11th and 12th functionality are also working correctly and the last 10 are also working correctly. ये नहीं कि 2 ऐड करी तो 10 ने काम करना बंद कर दिया. Is that all right? Yes. So for that we will have to check the previous code. If there is an error, and if suppose out of 10, 5 will stop working, when you add 2 more features, then you have to do regression testing. Yes? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So how is regression testing done? It is done by running some or all of the test cases created to test modifications in previous versions of the software. So that is how we will do it. Now, see, we all know that आप कितनी भी requirements analysis पहले कर लो, कितनी भी testing कर लो, कुछ ना कुछ bugs रह जाएंगे, कुछ ना कुछ requirements change आएंगी customer side पे और user specifications के कारण. So regression testing is inevitable. It is unavoidable. We need to do regression testing. And we've just seen that it is conducted basically to confirm that any program changes have not adversely existing features and new features are also working correctly. So requirements change have to be handled. See, all through my design and patterns class also, this was our focus. Those of you who are attending the pattern class also, that variations or changes in requirements are not avoidable. We have to learn to handle them effectively and smartly. So similarly here also, changes will come, new functionalities or new features need to be added to the software with due course of time. So we need to test the new functionalities, and at the same time we also need to test that whatever the functionalities which are being delivered by the software earlier have not been disrupted, or it has stopped delivering those functionalities. That should not be the situation. Now, regression testing, question is when to apply regression testing. Regression testing can be applied in each phase of software development. For example, during unit testing, when a given unit such as a class is modified by adding new methods, so we need to perform regression testing to ensure that the methods not modified continue to work as required. ये नहीं कि जो methods already थे वो भी काम करने बंद कर दिए हैं. However, if you are sure or you can demonstrate that the added methods have not modified the existing methods, then we need not do regression testing. So basically, regression testing is done to check the new functionality and at the same time to test that whatever functionality the program was delivering earlier is also not disrupted or not discontinued. So in case of unit testing also, so you are adding new methods, then one needs to perform regression testing to ensure that methods not modified continue to work as required. Okay, so how we do regression testing? The testers might rerun all the test cases generated in earlier stages to ensure that the program behaves as expected. तो एक तो तरीका है कि आपने जो पहले पी को जो टेस्टिंग करी थी, पी को टेस्ट केसेस को, वो सारे के सारे आप रन करना शुरू कर दो. That is the very foolproof and very safe way to ensure that your previous version is also intact and has not been disrupted. जो आपने P dash के ऊपर जो टेस्ट केसेस P पे चलाए थे वो सारे के सारे चला दो. बट इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है? इसमें ये प्रॉब्लम होगी कि जैसे जैसे आपका प्रोग्राम बढ़ता जाएगा, रिग्रेशन टेस्ट सेट बढ़ता जाएगा. ऑलराइट, तो क्योंकि हम ओल्ड टेस्ट भी डालते जा रहे हैं, तो रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग का जो है साइज, टेस्ट सूट का या टेस्ट केसेस का साइज बढ़ जाएगा. ठीक है ना? नाउ व्हेन दैट हैपेंस, व्हाट इज द ड्रॉबैक? सो if for every minor software revision or patch we are repeating all the previous tests. So it is not at times possible because of time and budget constraints. All right. So we cannot, because suppose there is a minor revision और एक ही functionality डाली है और कुछ ही पैच करा है और आप उसके लिए पिछले भी सारे टेस्ट केसेस भी करो तो टाइम और एफर्ट जाएगा, which is not advisable and which is not also possible because of budgetary constraints and time pressure of time. So regression testing is we will deliberately we will omit some of the test cases and we will only execute those test cases from the previous program P plus the new test cases for the new functionality which are required. All right. So we will be not omit test cases arbitrarily नहीं करेंगे, उसकी भी टेक्निक है. अगर आप आर्बिट्रली कुछ टेस्ट केसेस को छोड़ दोगे तो इट इज रिस्की, यू might not be testing the functionality or overlook the functionality which has undergone change. So arbitrarily नहीं करेंगे, उसका भी there are set message procedures for omitting the test cases. Okay, now it is ideal to test P dash against all the tests developed for P. But we have just seen that it is not possible because of the budgetary and time constraints. यानी कि अगर छोटा सा पैच भी किया तो पिछले सारे टेस्ट केसेस करने लग गए, फिर नए भी करने लग गए, तो ये हमेशा ही करने लग गए, तो it is not possible to use. So what are the tests which are going to use? Now all valid tests. So there are two ideas here. All valid tests from the previous version and new test to test a new functionality. So we call it as a test all approach. तो एक तरीका है कि पीछे से previous versions में से और new functionality के लिए तो नए टेस्ट सारे करने ही पड़ेंगे, तो हम इसको test all approach करते हैं. And what are the strengths and shortcomings of this approach? The test all approach. So the test all approach is best when you want to be certain that the new version works on all the tests developed for the previous version and any new test. All right. So previous version के लिए जो test है वो work करते हैं और नए test भी. Is that if you have limited resources to run the test and you have a time constraint, so it is not possible to test all the test version as well as the new version. So that is why test all approach की shortcomings क्या है. तो इसीलिए possible क्या है, idea है, we do a test selection. So test ideal situation is that you do a test all approach. आपने पिछले किए और नए के भी चला लिए, but that is not possible because of time and cost. So what is the alternative or what is the solution? We do a test selection. So what we do is we select a subset TR, test regression, of the original test set. जो प्रोग्राम P का जो ओरिजिनल टेस्ट सेट है उसमें से हम एक सबसेट बनाएंगे TR, so that the execution of the modified code P dash against TR will assure that all the functionality which has been carried from the original code to P dash is intact. It is called the regression test suite or regression test cases. We will pick up some test cases. We will see that how we form the regression test suite. So we will pick up some subset TR from the original test cases of P, and which will assure you execute P dash against that subset TR, which has been carried from P to P dash is intact. So this is now our problem. Our task is how to find TR. Yes, is it okay? So अब यहाँ पे हम पहुँच गए कि अब हमें बनाना है ये सबसेट कैसे बनेगा. दो तरीके, एक है टेस्ट मिनिमाइजेशन और एक है टेस्ट प्रायोरिटाइजेशन. We will study these techniques next time. Then test selection minimization. Is it clear here? Yes. Is it all right? Here or are you not here? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You are here. Good. Nice to hear that. So what we have studied today is we have completed object-oriented testing, and we have started the new topic on regression testing. So we have seen that what is regression testing and the definition and what is done in regression testing and how we cannot do the entire test case execution in case of regression testing. So we need to find out a subset TR, test regression, from the original set T of any program P, which when executed will assure that functionality which is carried over from P to P dash is intact. और न्यू फंक्शनैलिटी तो ऐड न्यू फंक्शनैलिटी के तो टेस्ट केसेस अलग से होंगे ही होंगे. तो इसकी दो टेक्निक्स हैं, मिनिमाइजेशन एंड प्रायोरिटाइजेशन. सो दैट वी विल टेक अप नेक्स्ट टाइम. So we'll study these two techniques. Is that clear now?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So
Yes,
now
ma'am.
most of it now we have moved from code testing. अब आप अगर आप एनालाइज करोगे तो अब हम थोड़ा सा जो हमारा डायरेक्शन है वो गई है. कोड टेस्टिंग से उस तरीके से तो नहीं हटगी जो बिल्कुल ही दैट स्कोर कोड टेस्टिंग थी, वाइट बॉक्स टेस्टिंग, यूनिट टेस्टिंग, ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग, इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग एंड देन डेटा फ्लो टेस्टिंग. थोड़ा सा हट के अब हम एक नई टेक्निक पे आए हैं, रिग्रेशन टेस्टिंग पे. इसमें जो अब हम पढ़ेंगे, हम पढ़ेंगे कि हमें जो टेस्ट सिलेक्शन करनी है, जो हमें सबसेट बनाना है TR फ्रॉम द ओरिजिनल टेस्ट के सेट T, वो कैसे बनेगा. तो हम इस तरीके से मैं कहूँगी कि हम बिल्कुल जो कोर टेस्टिंग टेक्निक्स हैं, जैसे हमने ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग पढ़ी थी, वाइट बॉक्स टेस्टिंग पढ़ी थी, हमने इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग पढ़ी, हमने डेटा फ्लो टेस्टिंग पढ़ी, उससे थोड़ा सा हट जाएगा. यहाँ प्रॉब्लम है जो हमने TR को डिटरमिन करना है, वो दैट विल बी आवर फोकस विल बी ऑन दैट इशू. Formulate that TR from T, from the capital T subset of the test cases of a program P. Yes, कुछ समझ में आया?
Yes,
हाँ, आया तो बहुत
Yes.
अच्छी बात है. आया तो अब ऐसा करते हैं कि मैं अब अटेंडेंस डाल रही हूँ आप लोगों को. इज 20th ना. आज हो गई 20th. 2:54 हुए हैं अभी. मैं 3 PM तक कर देती हूँ. So there goes the attendance. Everybody is going to receive it. And in the meantime, I am leaving the meeting. All right? Yes? Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.